Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Psalms, the 80th chapter, okay, which in here, it's mainly dealing with the adversaries of Israel, right? The enemies of the Lord and the enemies of the nation of Israel, as at least in the first few verses here, it lists them. Okay, so the next time you wonder if Israel has enemies, yeah. So this is Psalms 80, the book of Psalms, chapter 80, verse 1. To the chief musician upon Shoshan Nimedoth, Shoshani Medoth, a psalm of Asaph. Okay, and let's look at this in the NLT. It says, for the choir director, a psalm of Asaph to be sung to the tunes, or to the tune, Lilies of the Covenant. Okay. It says, give ear, O shepherd, to Israel. Who is the shepherd of Israel? Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai. Right? The Most High through Yahweh Shai. Thou that leadest Joseph like a flock. Joseph here is referring here to Israel. Okay, it says Joseph, but it's referring to Israel. If we go into the name Joseph here, which in the Hebrew is Yahweh, he is added. Okay, see here it says Joseph, right, the youngest son, Jacob. Let's see where it says here. He shall add two sons, becoming the ancestor of the tribes of Israel. Yeah, you see that? It says here concerning Psalm 78 and 67. That's an example of the whole nation of Israel. Okay, Psalm 80 and 2. So it's referring to Israel, just calling him Joseph. Okay, let's go back here. And that's why, like, if you look at this in another translation, you'll see that it says here in the NLT, it says here, you who lead Joseph's descendants like a flock. Now, did the Lord lead only Joseph or his descendants? Because who were Joseph's descendants? Manasseh and Ephraim. So was the Lord only a shepherd over Joseph's descendants? No. Okay, but here is referring to Israel. So it says here, thou that leadest Joseph like a flock, thou that dwellest between the cherubims, shine forth. Before Ephraim and Benjamin and Manasseh, stir up thy strength. But I thought he's really only supposed to be a leader or a shepherd over Ephraim and Manasseh. Okay, so it says here, stir up thy strength and come and save us. Turn us again, O God, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. Because our salvation is in who? Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. So when he turns us, causes us to turn back to him, and causes his face to shine upon us again, that's the path to our salvation. That's when he turns back our captivity. And we're living in the early parts of that now, or really the latter parts of it now. O Lord Yahweh, God of hosts, how long wilt thou be angry against the prayer of thy people? You see, because for a period of time, the Lord turned his face away from us. See, so it's like, well, how long are you going to, sort of like forsake us? How long are you going to leave us in this state? Let's see here. Oh, Slakia. I was thinking of Psalms 83. Okay, not Psalm 80. Psalm 80 is not. Psalms 83 was dealing with the enemies. There you go, the enemies of Israel. Yeah. So that's what I was thinking of. So Slakia about that. Must have confused, some people in the beginning. No, dealing with Psalms 80. Okay, as it says here, God implores to rescue his people from their calamities. So let's keep on going. It says here, verse 5, thou feedest them with the bread of tears. Thou givest them tears to drink in great measure. Okay, and once again, this was, when the Lord put us, in affliction, right? He humbled us through judgment. That was likened unto us being fed tears, right? We cried so much, it was like our daily bread. And then as it says, in great measure, thou makest us a strife unto our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves. See that? So going into us being a byword, a proverb, right? Thou hast made us the scorn of of neighboring nations. Our enemies treat us as a joke. Turn us again, O God of hosts, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. Thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt. Thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it. Okay, and that vine represents Israel. That's another precept for the when you read in Romans 11, and it talks about the vine, that wild olive tree, in the book of what's that, Jeremiah? Is it Jeremiah 6? Let's just word search it. Oh, Jeremiah 2, right? Jeremiah 2 and 21. Yet I planted thee a noble vine, referring to Israel. In fact, this lines up right perfectly what we're about to read. So the Lord said he planted Israel, right, as a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? See, so going back to Psalm 80 and 8, thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt, which was the Lord delivering us out of Egypt, Israel. Thou hast cast out the heathen, which were the Canaanites in the land, and planted it. Right? What did we just read in Jeremiah 2 and 21? Yet I planted thee. Who was the Lord speaking to here? Israel. Right? I planted thee a noble vine. So this was when the Lord put Israel in the land. Thou preparest room before it, and didst cause it to take deep root, and filled the land. That was the noble vine, a holy, right seed. See, the Lord put us in a good land. Okay, he gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. He prepared everything for us. You see, and it filled the land, right? We populated, we took over the land. The hills were covered with with the shadow of it, and the boughs thereof were like the goodly cedars, right? And that's describing when we took over the land, right? How we were flourishing. She sent out her boughs onto the sea and her branches onto the river. This is describing our, as it says, we spread our branches west to the Mediterranean Sea. Our shoots spread east to the Euphrates River. That was us populating the land. NLT, it says, our shade covered the mountains. Our branches covered the mighty cedars. All right, once again, describing Israel as this tree that is growing and spreading throughout the land. Verse 12, why hast thou then broken down her hedges? And when you have a vineyard, the hedge that you set up is to keep out any like foxes or thieves or unwanted visitors in the vineyard. So here, the psalm, it's saying, like, as Asaph is saying, why have you broken down her hedges? Like breaking down our defense, if we're liking onto the vineyard, so that all they which pass by or pass by the way do pluck her. See, that all those that are around were able to partake, in taking advantage of us. Right? It says that in nation not had a, instead of First Maccabees 2 and 10, right? What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom, and what gotten of her spoils? Referring to Israel, right? How we've been at the mercy of all these other nations. So as it says, why then hast thou broken down her hedges, our defenses, so that all which pass by the way do pluck her? The boar out of the wood doth waste it, and the wild beast of the field doth devour it. This is referring to the nations, the heathen nations that were taking advantage of us, right? Being able to subject us, put us in captivity, because they were liking onto that vineyard, and they're liking onto the boar that comes in and waste it. Return, we beseech thee, O God of hosts, look down from heaven and behold and visit this vine. See, return, come back, have mercy on us, build up that hedge around us again and protect us, because we're being devoured of our enemies. So we are this vine, and the vineyard which thy right hand hath planted, going back to Jeremiah 2, and the branch that thou madest strong for thyself. It is burned with fire, it is cut down. They perish at the rebuke of thy countenance. All right, and that symbolized us being destroyed for a time. Okay, Israel being destroyed for a time, not being completely destroyed, but suffering, the various captivities and the destructuring of our nation. Let thy hand be upon the man of thy right hand, upon the Son of Man, whom thou madest strong for thyself. Let's read that in the NLT. It says, strengthen the man you love, the son of your choice. Okay, which ultimately is Yahweh Shai, but it also represents Israel, because we're likened unto the Son of the Lord. So will we not go back from thee, right? We're not going to deviate from your ways anymore. Quicken us, revive us, and we will call upon thy name. Turn us again, right? Return us. Turn away our captivity. Cause us to repent and come back after you. O Lord, Yahweh, God of hosts, cause thy face to shine, which is the Lord's grace, to be showed upon us, and we shall be saved. And that brings us to the end of the book of Psalms, the 80th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.